The Major League eSports Series is on the air. We are back here at Richmond and we have some K&N action for you guys. Sam Cooper Bennett up in the booth. I am riding solo here tonight, so please bear with me. And we are going to have a lot of fun tonight, as we always do with this league. We've got 20 seconds left in practice. I'm a bit late starting this broadcast, but I promise you, I am. Yeah, it's one of those nights tonight. But as you can see, yeah, it's Major League eSports Series, Catalyst Mid Series, K&N cars here tonight. 200 laps around Richmond. We are back here again tonight for another dose of action here in the K&N cars. First of all, would like to give a couple of shout outs here. Firstly to the iRacing Flea Market. They are a page on Facebook where you can go if you want to sell something, you want to buy something. You've got a few quid in your pocket, then please do not hesitate to go to the flea market and have a look there. Also want to take a look, nope, not that one. I want to give a shout out to PZ Overlays. Paul Zota supplied the overlay for tonight's broadcast and the broadcast you've seen all week this week. Paul Zota, PZ Overlays, if you want something for your broadcast. Right. Just gone into qualifying now. Forgive me for being a bit tardy tonight. I am on my own, so it could be a bit of a strange one tonight, as we are going to take a look at Cody Walling, one of the new guys here tonight. Now we're going to change to Carlton Hendry, as we're going to put the qualifying up for tonight's race. Ryan Hughes, the first one to put a time up as. That's the 227 of Carl Gilbert, getting a bit sideways coming out of turn 2. That's going to be a problem corner tonight, as it has been throughout the other series we've been broadcasting this week, as that was John Bergeron getting it all wrong there as well. So a lot of different drivers here tonight on the field. Let's go to our current points leader. That'll be Spencer Preet. Where is he? There he is. No, Spencer Preet. There he is. In the 27, running a brand new paint scheme tonight. Very sharp looking paint scheme in that 27. So look for him to be up there tonight. He's been putting some decent times down, and he was fastest in the hot lap session. So expect him to be up there. At the moment, our top 10 is Mark Arthur, Spencer Preet, Travis Brown now just put a time in. He's up to 3rd. Ryan Hughes is in 4th. Larry Anderson is in 5th. Carl Gilbert is 6th. Hunter King is 7th. No, it's changed again. Elliott Smith just bumped up to 5th. And the 91. Brand new paint scheme on that 91, created by our good old Tex, who's not here tonight, unfortunately. So going to be missing him tonight. Marcus McFadden putting, well, the last person to really move. Everyone's finished their qualifying by the looks of it. So let's go through our top 10 again. Mark Arthur has the pole. Spencer Preet is 2nd. Travis Brown 3rd. Ryan Hughes 4th. 5th is Elliott Smith. 6th is Larry Anderson. 7th is Carl Vincent Gilbert. 8th is Hunter King. 9th is Tyler Vickery. So good qualifying position for him. And Nelson Hill rounds out the top 10 in 11th. Oh, nobody else has put times down. So they must have done, because there we go. 11th is Cody Walling. 12th is Jeffrey Patterson. And the last person to take a time so far tonight is Carlton Hendry. So with 6 minutes left in qualifying, gonna see if he's ready to go. We're gonna get where is he? Carl Gilbert down to do tonight's sermon. And joining him in the booth for tonight's sermon is Carl Gilbert. The stage is yours, sir.
Thank you. Dear Lord, just thank you for this that you're giving us, and just thank you for us be together here as a group of friends to race together. Let us all make around the track safely and have a clean race and not get mad at each other no matter the situation. Thank you for this that you're listening.
Okay, thank you for that sermon there, Kyle, as we're going to throw you back up to the racing room. That was tonight's sermon for tonight's race, and all I can ask for you guys now is to put your hands on your hearts and have a moment of silence for tonight's national anthem. That was tonight's national anthem, brought to you by Mr. Terry Adams. Always a good man to supply the bump music. You have heard many of his tunes here on Bofa Broadcasting, usually brought to you by Tony Trapasso. Just 3 minutes left in qualifying. Let's go through our final qualifying order with you. Mark Arthur again taking the pole. Second place is Spencer Preet. Third place is Doug Thompson. Fourth place Travis Brown. Fifth place is Russ Charneski now, so he put a time down. We didn't see it while we were doing the national anthem and the sermon. Sixth place is Ryan Hughes. Seventh place is Elliot Smith. Eighth is Larry Anderson. Ninth, Carl Gilbert as pastor for tonight. And rounding out the top 10 is Hunter King. 11th is Tyler Vickery. 12th is James Bunce. 13th is Nelson Hill. 14th is Cody Walling. 15th is Jeffrey Patterson. 16th and last person to take a time tonight is Carlton Hendry. The last three not taking times tonight are Marcus McFadden, Bob Cunningham and John Bergeron. John Bergeron having a few problems in qualifying, as we already saw. Just over 2 minutes to go. Just going to go over my expectations for tonight's race. Tonight is going to be one hell of a race. If you've not tuned into the last two broadcasts we've done of the Major League eSports League, then I'd suggest you go back and watch it, as they were absolutely fantastic races. Despite, well, last week, despite all the cautions, it was still a fantastic finish. Mark Harvey coming from third on the last restart to take home the win. Also, we are doing both fan choice tonight. We're not on this broadcast. Isn't the only one going on tonight. If you fancy a bit of cup car action, then please do not hesitate to switch over to my broadcast partner Tony Trapasso, who is broadcasting the Paskey's Sports Cardiac Cup Series. They are at Daytona, and I've seen a bit of it, and it's one hell of a race there so far tonight. Just under a minute left in qualifying. Kind of got through things a bit too quickly here tonight, as we are now going to go to our grid for tonight's race. Starting on the pole and with the unofficial lap record is Mark Arthur. Joining him on that front row is championship leader Spencer Preet. On the second row is Doug Thompson and Travis Brown. Row 3 will be Russ Charneski and Ryan Huser. Row 4 will be Elliott Smith and Larry Anderson. And row 5 will be Kyle Gilbert and Hunter King. Row 6 will be Tyler Vickery and James Bunce. Row 7 will be Nelson Hill and Cody Walling. Row 8 will be Jeffrey Patterson and Carlton Hendry. Row 9, first car not taking the time, will be Marcus McFadden, and joining him will be Bob Cunningham, with John Bergeron starting shotgun on the field tonight. So 19 cars set to take the green, as we've got 200 laps of pure racing action here tonight. It's going to be very close racing, as we've seen all week so far tonight. Lots of side-by-side action, lots of people being patient, and unfortunately with the short track nature of this place, maybe a few cautions as well. Let's go to our grid right now. We've got, let's go to, well, Mark Arthur's not on the grid yet, but let's go to Spencer Preet, who is there. Or is he? Yes, he is. There he is, right there in the number 27. We've got Doug Thompson there on the outside in the 13. That lovely Kodiak car, and Travis Brown there on his outside in 4th place. Mark Arthur not taking the grid as yet, as people are just putting their last minute preparations before the start of tonight's race. So just a couple of minutes now while everybody gets themselves ready before we go to the green tonight. Let's go to Tyler Vickery. He's running a nice paint scheme tonight. Let's see if I can get a bit more of a... Nope, that's not going to do it, is it? No. No, that's Spencer Preet again. Let's go back to Tyler Vickery. There he is, running a very nice M&M scheme. Very much a throwback scheme there in the number 24. Let's go to Elliott Smith there in the 91, running a very nice paint scheme run by our very own league owner Tex, who's again is not here tonight, so very unfortunate not to see him out there, but I'm sure we'll see him back next week when we go to Talladega. Meanwhile, Mark Arthur has finally taken up the grid as they're rolling away to start the formation lap. 2 formation laps, I will say. And Mark Arthur's got the Powerpuff Girls scheme on again. Brought him lots of luck last week at Bristol, so definitely gonna want to wear it tonight, and he is indeed. Let's go back to Russ Charneski, a guy we've not seen so far this season, well, not on this broadcast anyway. He is there on the inside of the 38 of Ryan Huser, another person we've not really seen in our broadcast so far this season. So a few new names out there tonight. Carlton Hendry being another one, having a bit of a Brinkling problem. John Bergeron there in the golf scheme. A bit different seeing the golf scheme on a stock car, but it's very nice, also very refreshing. The number 95 of Hunter King, he is there in starting shotgun on the field in that Dodge paint scheme. Let's go back to Carlton Hendry. He's just running a stock iRacing scheme there. But let's go back to our leaders as they are completing the second lap of the warm-up laps. Pace car will be going off this time round as they are all getting themselves lined up, ready to rock and roll for 200 laps around the D-shaped demon, as it's been called in the past. Mark Arthur on the pole, pace car's off, holding them down for the time being, and away we go. 200 laps at Richmond for the Major League eSports Series Catalyst Mint Series, and they are side by side as they go through 1 and 2. Already throwing the hammer down as Spencer Pre takes away the lead from Mark Arthur. Mark Arthur's got a filing behind him as the 2x2 behind him. That's Doug Thompson on the outside, inside, and Travis Brown on the outside. Travis Brown's got to take away that third place as here comes Ryan Hughes coming from the outside as well on Doug Thompson. Not really going to take it this time round, but really close as well. But Ryan Hughes in the top 5 already. There's Russ Charneski back there in 6th. And right behind him is Larry Anderson in the 0-4, being hounded by Elliott Smith. Elliott Smith having such a good run last week, only for it to be undone on that final restart. Just missing, well, be undone very late on. There's Tyler Vickery. Everybody getting very spread out early on in the early runnings. No one wants to make any rash moves in the early part of this race. Let's go back to Elliott Smith there, who is chasing down the 0-4 of Larry Anderson. This is the battle for 7th place right now, as we are 4 laps in this thing already. So very close racing as Ryan Hughes is under pressure from Charneski. Charneski really wants that 5th position as they're close. Charneski passes on the outside. What a move there by the number 19. Meanwhile, back at the front, Spencer Preet has already checked out, as has Mark Arthur. Those two guys always seem to be at the front at certain points in the race, and they're already starting it early. Travis Brown having to have a bit of a fight right now, holding off Doug Thompson in the number 13. Bob Cunningham not taking the start, so we've got one non-starter so far in this race. He is already on the retirement list. There is Cody Walling being passed by John Bergeron. So John Bergeron making some moves already in this race. Got some little battles going on as that is Carl Gilbert getting into the wall. Not a good start that he wants to see, but it keeps it going nevertheless as Bergeron gets a bit out of shape coming out of turn 4 as they go into turns 1 and 2. Side-by-side action behind him as that is the 97 and Nelson Hill putting a pass on Cody Walling now. Walling is falling back through the field as we've got one down on the apron. That is Carlton Hendry. Problems for that 21 as he gets it going again. Are the leaders going to catch him though? That's the problem. There he is. As Tyler Vickery's down in the apron too, so problems already. No, that's not Tyler Vickery. Who was that? Marcus McFadden, also in an M&M scheme, so that's why I got confused. Let's go back to the battles as we got Travis Brown still fending off Doug Thompson there, and also now Russ Charneski who's caught onto the back of these two. So it's a 3-car battle there for the 3rd spot in this race. There is Travis Brown, there is Doug Thompson, there is Russ Charneski. We are on lap 11 out of 200 and already a few decent battles going on. Let's go back to Tyler Vickery, who's having somewhat of a decent run so far. Just biding his time so far, just having a relaxing race, but he can't relax too much. He's got James Bunce right behind him there, who is in the last position in the top 10. Let's go back to Cody Walling there, who is still side by side with Nelson Hill. Nelson Hill really wants that position. Cody Walling is not willing to give it to him. Pinches down slightly going into turns 1 and 2. Gets a good run off of 2, and there is Walling holding on to 13th place in that 0-0 machine. As we've already got Carlton Hendry and Marcus McFadden 1 lap down already. McFadden is out of pit road. He was in for 15.5 seconds, so people coming down for pit stops already. I wonder if that's for damage or if it's for tyre strategy. Not really sure. It kind of doesn't help when you don't have someone in the booth with you, so you don't really know what's going on. Tyler Vickery there still in 9th place, still kind of gapped James Bunce a bit now, so starting to pull away in that number 24. Spencer Preet and Mark Arthur, that's closed up a bit now, gone to within 4/10 of a second, now going down to 3/10 of a second. Spencer Preet scrapes the wall. Going through turns 1 and 2, this is the closest battle we have, and it's the battle for the lead, incidentally. And the question is, who's going to take the initiative here and go for it? Basically, Spencer Preet's going to be blocking. Mark Arthur's going to be trying to pass, but they've got 2 lap cars in front of him. That's not Hunter King. That's Elliott Smith? No, can't be. No, it's not. Oh, okay. That was Marcus McFadden and Jeffrey Patterson that they passed. Patterson bringing down pit side. Patterson's got some nasty damage on that catalyst mince machine, so he's going to come down and get some damage fixed. Meanwhile, let's go back to the battle for the lead between Spencer Preet and Mark Arthur. This is already hotting up, and the heat is getting ever so slightly hotter as Mark Arthur takes a look on the inside. They're going to be side by side as they come out of turn 2. Turn 4, sorry. Preet is going to defend that position as they go around Carlton Hendry. Preet holding on for dear life at this point. As let's go back to our battle for 3rd place. That's Travis Brown there. Russ Charneski has actually made his way up to 4th place now after passing Doug Thompson. So we've still got a 3-car battle there for 3rd place as they are gapping Ryan Hughes there, who is 9/10 of a second, well, a second now behind Thompson. So falling back, but again, it's early in the race, so they could be just biding their time at this moment. As here comes Charneski on the inside of Travis Brown. This is going to get tasty between the 2 former champions as they are battling out for the last spot on the podium. Spencer Preet now has managed to get his gap up to 3/10 of a second over Mark Arthur. So Mark Arthur decided to back off a bit now as they make their way through turns 1 and 2. 3 and 4. Again, I messed up. Sorry. John Bergeron there is in the last is in the top 10 now. So John Bergeron making his moves through the field. He's just passed James Bunce for that last spot in the top 10. He's got his sights set on Tyler Vickery, who's sitting there in 9th, just running his own race and biding his own time. So good running there for Tyler Vickery. Let's go back to the battle between Charneski, who has now moved up to 3rd place and just almost missed that. Charneski gets the inside line on Travis Brown and takes away 3rd place. People swapping positions all the time as Ryan Hughes is now starting to close in on this 3-car battle, and he's very soon it's going to become a 4-car battle as Russ Charneski is already checked out. So maybe not a 3-car battle for 3rd place anymore, but definitely a 3-car battle for 4th place, as also Larry Anderson is not too far back either. As we've got a battle here for 9th place. John Bergeron gets on the outside of Tyler Vickery. Tyler Vickery's trying to hold on to that position, and here comes James Bunce as well. This is a 3-car battle for 9th place. Bergeron's going to try that outside line again as he's got some damage on the right hand side of the car, so that might hurt him in the near future as he has to give it up. 9th place stays with Tyler Vickery. John Bergeron holds on to 10th as here comes James Bunce again. He wants that 10th place back. He's coming very strongly as they go across the line to complete lap 25. Meanwhile, let's go to the battle for the lead. Spencer Preet there still holding off Mark Arthur. Mark Arthur has dropped back ever so slightly to 3/10 of a second behind our championship leader Spencer Preet. Very close fighting between these two already, and we're not even a quarter distance into this race. It's going to be a long one tonight. But if they keep banging out laps like they are, then it's going to be good for everybody. As there is Travis Brown. They've actually closed in on Charneski now, who's in that 19 Pro Bass Shops machine. But the battle between Travis Brown and Doug Thompson has actually resumed now. Charleski's got past, so Doug Thompson wants it. Travis Brown has it. This is the battle for 4th place, and it's the closest battle in the field, as Doug Thompson not really going to try and make a move as they go around Nelson Hill. So people getting laps put on them already, as another retirement has happened. Marcus McFadden already has put his car behind the wall, which is unfortunate. Oh, Travis Brown getting uneasy coming out of turn 2. That's going to let Doug Thompson in, or is it? No, it's not, as Doug Thompson still being patient behind the number 01. That was Hunter King. That was almost in the way as they were passing him, as Larry Anderson's going to come around him as well. Some people with some significant damage on their cars already, but that's the nature of Richmond. Back to Travis Brown and Russ Charleski. They've all closed up together, so now it's a 3-car battle for 3rd place again, as they're going around the inside of Cody Walling. Cody Walling's got to stay out of the way, stay up high, as the 2 have got past him. Now can Doug Thompson get around? Yes, he can, and they are clear of lap traffic for now. That was Carlton Hendry down on the apron a short while ago, and now they're clear. There goes Charleski. He's off into the distance again, as Travis Brown resumes his battle with Doug Thompson for 4th place. Everybody getting spread out now at this point, as Mark Arthur has now fallen to 6/10 of a second behind the number 27 of Spencer Preet. So everybody being patient at this point, as we know green flag pit stops will be coming up very soon. People have dropped to a lap down already. We've only got 11 people left on the lead lap, so a lot of people taking it easy or just not getting to grips with their cars at this oval track thing. Yeah. Anyway, Spencer Preet is still your leader. Mark Arthur is 2nd. Russ Charleski is 3rd and catching Mark Arthur now. He's got it down to under 5 seconds. Travis Brown is 3rd. Doug Thompson is 4th. Ryan Huser is in 6th. 7th is Larry Anderson. 8th is Elliott Smith. 9th is John Bergeron, still fighting with Tyler Vickery, and hits the wall again. That's going to be more damage on that 119, as they've got a lap down now. So only 8 cars left on the lead lap. This is going to be pure dominance between the top 5, I'd say, as they are already lapping the whole field, as John Bergeron has now finally got away from Tyler Vickery, as here comes Mark Arthur trying to get round them too. As Mark Arthur's now fallen to over a second behind Spencer Preet after dealing with the lap traffic, and he's still stuck behind John Bergeron. I can only think he's going to try and get a run on him this time. He goes on the outside, and Mark Arthur gets around Bergeron, as Tyler Vickery sees his chance and takes away 9th place. Very sneaky move there by the 24. He is up to 9th place after taking advantage of Mark Arthur putting a lap on John Bergeron. Very close battling in the early part of this race, but everybody also very spread out at this point. We are on lap 40 now of 200, so almost quarter distance, and I'm assuming there's a caution somewhere. Oh no. As my 1 second now, as ATVO takes a poop on me. Great. While I'm doing that, just admire the the great flag of America, as I load up the overlay again. But we are under caution. I didn't quite see what happened. I don't think that's the stage. I didn't have a word with. I didn't ask. I forgot to ask Tex earlier if it is stages tonight. So Unfortunate that we are under caution already. Meanwhile, let's go back to our in-race action. As we are now, we are just looking at Jeffrey Patterson there. I wonder if it was him that was the cause of the incident. As Tyler Vickery takes it down pit side, Spencer Preet has stayed out, has he? Let's go back and watch that. No, he has been down pit road. So the pit stops were happening while I was trying to fix my freaking overlay. So sorry guys for that. I didn't mean to lose track of everything. And Spencer Preet wins the race off pit road. Mark Arthur comes out second. Russ Charneski comes out third. Doug Thompson's going to come out fourth. So Travis Brown having issues in pit road there. So already issues for the 0-1 as he's got some left side damage as well. Just as a reminder, we are under caution. Just taking note of the live chat tonight. Tex, I do see you in there. Computer problems keeping you out tonight. That is unfortunate, brother. We hope to. I'm sad to see you not out there tonight. And yeah, I hope to see you back next week. Well, we're going to Speed Week next week, so it's Talladega next week, so I hope to see you there, brother. We're not watching Travis Brown there making his way around the track as they are not 2x2 just yet. Travis Brown dropping to 7th after problems in pit road. Spencer Preet is currently your leader. Mark Arthur 2nd. Russ Charneski is 3rd. Doug Thompson is 4th as they are just going 2x2 right now. And we're about to get them going again. Again, this is a presentation brought to you by Beaufort Broadcasting. We are showing the Major League eSports League Catalyst Mint Series live from Richmond Raceway as they're making their way through turns 3 and 4. Pace cars off again. About to get them going again, and Spencer Preet hits the floor, and away we go for another run in this race. The K&N cars, such pretty cars, I love them. Spencer Preet getting off cleanly, but Mark Arthur's gone with him. They're much closer than they were right now than they were before, as Doug Thompson takes a piece of the wall with him. Doug Thompson is under pressure, well, trying to put Russ Charneski under pressure, but not working so far. Oh, Charneski gets loose and loses the back end, gets run over by Doug Thompson. Doug Thompson's got some severe damage on that car now. He can only fall backwards as there goes Travis Brown. Travis Brown is around as it's going to take a lot of people with him. Anderson's with him. Hughes gets away with it. Tyler Vickery is in it. That's the 95 in it too. Lots of people in it. That's James Bunt in it as well. Huge incident there. That was unfortunately caused by Travis Brown. Let's go back and see what happened there. Loses it coming out of turn 2. Walling gets into it. Vickery gets a piece of it. Oh! Ooh, Carlton Hendry runs him over. Sends him flying across the track. I'm counting 6 cars at least involved in that. So, wow. That is going to have to be... Oh. Travis Brown. What did you do to deserve that? As we go back live again... Let's see where people are right now. Tyler Vickery is unfortunately severely damaged after all that. He is in 15th in pit road. Carlton Hendry still out on track, surprisingly, after punting Travis Brown like he did. Jeffrey Patterson's there out on track as well. Travis Brown is now already 2 laps down. Carl Vincent Gilbert, he is there in the 227. Another person that was involved in that was James Bunt. He is still out on track as well, albeit with a severely damaged car. Cody Walling is in pit road. He was involved in that too. Gonna take it down pit side and get some damage fixed, as is Hunter King in the 95. He was involved in that as well, big time. So 6 cars involved in that wreck. Wow. We go through the first 40 laps with no caution, and then all of a sudden we get 2 in very quick succession, and a lot of good cars taken out in that. And Travis Brown, very unfortunate, lost it out of turn 2, and there was nobody at fault of that. I mean, turn 2 has been biting people all week, as you've seen on previous broadcasts. Wow. Thanks, Tex. I've been trying to figure out what that is. Yeah, and we're definitely at the end of stage right now. So let's go through our stage standings as we go around. Spencer Preet comes home first. Mark Arthur second. Russ Charneski third. Elliott Smith fourth. Doug Thompson fifth. Ryan Huser is sixth. Seventh is Larry Anderson. Eighth is Nelson Hill. So he's made up some positions, taking advantage of the wrecks that have happened. John Bergeron is in 9th, and James Bunce is sitting there in P10. So that's your results from the first stage. Yeah. Let's put that up. Yeah, that's a fun one. Yeah, I like that one. As they are lighter off on the pace car. They're just going 2 by 2 right now. My goodness me, what an entertaining race we've seen so far. And guys, if you agree with me and this is an entertaining race for you guys, then don't forget to leave a like. And if you're new here and you like what you're seeing and you want to see more, don't forget to click that subscribe button here on YouTube. As the pace car is off, Spencer Preet is going to get them going again. They're all bunched up. Spencer Preet hits the loud pedal. Mark Arthur not really going with him this time, as here comes Russ Charneski trying to take the inside line, and Elliott Smith is right there as well. Where did he come from? Already up to 4th place, and he's trying the outside line on Russ Charneski. And he makes it. Elliott Smith is up to 3rd place. What a restart by the number 91. Tex, that paint scheme is working a dream for him, I think. As we've got Russ Charneski still falling back. He's under pressure from Ryan Huser now. Ryan Huser now up to 5th place. Russ Charneski trying to get that 3rd place back. Not going to be easy passing Elliott Smith, because Elliott is a very good driver. We've seen that in the past couple of weeks, as Doug Thompson's going to try the inside line on Ryan Huser. Got alongside him as they come out of turn 2. Going to be a drag race up to turn 3. Ryan Huser, is he going to battle him? Is he going to give it up? It's still early in this race. We're only quarter distance as Doug Thompson takes it. Elliott Smith is falling backwards. Something's happened to the number 91, as he's going to get freight train now. Ryan Huser on the inside of him as they come out of turn 2. Yeah, problems there for the 91, but he gets back into the groove. Elliott Smith managing to hold on to that top 5 position, but Russ Charneski is up to 3rd place now. Doug Thompson is in 4th. Spencer Preet has checked the hell out right now. Let's go back to Larry Anderson, who is who's trying to fight with Ryan Huser, and has got John Bergeron right behind him. There's actually a nice 5-car battle there for 4th place. Doug Thompson is at the head of that queue, as that is Nelson Hill going slowly on the apron, so problems for the 97 there as he makes his way out of pit road. Let's go back to Doug Thompson as he, yet again, he is at the head of a nice 5-car battle shaping up. Make that a 4-car battle now as John Bergeron has backed right off and he's in 8th place. James Bunt's got that damage on his car, he's in 9th. 10th is Nelson Hill, as I've already mentioned, and Kyle Gilbert is in 11th. All these cars have got damage on their cars. Travis Brown is back out. He's used his fast repair and is back up to speed, so he is going to be looking to get some positions back, maybe a couple of laps back, depending on cautions. But we are definitely due to going to have one more caution as we got to finish the second stage. We're currently looking at Spencer Preet there as it... Oh, Carlton Hendry hits the wall again. Not having the best of races, that number 21 driver. As here comes Mark Arthur to put another lap on him. So the number 21 really having a difficult night tonight. Russ Charneski is there in 3rd. He is absolutely pulled away from Doug Thompson, who's in 4th. Elliott Smith is in 5th, but he's got a nice challenge behind him. That's Ryan Hughes in the 38. Really wants that 5th place away from the number 91. Really got to put the hammer down and really try and time your moments to try and pass these guys. As there is Larry Anderson as well in the 04 in P7. So Anderson not really far behind. He's really been one of the quieter ones tonight. He usually is one of the quieter ones in these races. We don't really mention him much, unfortunately. But here is Elliott Smith coming out of turn 4 onto the tri-oval and still holding off that 38 of Ryan Hughes. Hunter King, unfortunately, still on pit road. Tyler Vickery, unfortunately, has taken his car behind the wall. Unlucky for the number 24. And hopefully he's going to get some more luck soon. As for some reason, there we go. As we go back to Elliott Smith there, still holding off the 38 of Ryan Hughes. This is the closest battle on track as everybody, and I mean everybody, is really spread out right now as we're on lap 65 at 200. Elliott Smith is the man in 5th place. Ryan Hughes is the man in 6th. 7th is Larry Anderson. So this is the closest battle out on track as Doug Thompson is starting to reel in the 19 of Russ Charneski. Well, not really. Yeah, he is. He just took a 10th out of him. So, and that's why Russ Charneski getting around the 227 of Carl Gilbert. So that will have cost him a bit of time trying to get around the lap car, but still manages to do it nice and cleanly. And now he can pull away from the 13 of Doug Thompson, who now has to deal with Gilbert. Elliott, meanwhile, has pulled away slightly from Ryan Hughes. Ryan Hughes now has Larry Anderson to contend with. Anderson really wants to get through that field and get up as high as he can, as he is now closing the gap between him and the 38. So one battle ends, another one begins, as this battle for 5th place is really heating up as we are now on lap 68, about to go on lap 69. Hey. Someone hit the wall there. I think that was Doug Thompson. So everybody really spread out right now. There's Spencer Preet, your leader. Oh, Spencer Preet glances the wall coming out of turn 4. Keep calm, Spencer. You've got a healthy lead and plenty more laps to do, so don't worry. Mark Arthur there in 2nd place. He's got to deal with John Bergeron and Nelson Hill as he gets around Bergeron easily. Nelson Hill is going to be on his outside as they go into turns 1 and 2. Yep, makes it look just that easy, and it's all going to happen all over again. People getting lapped left, right and centre as we've only got 7 people left on the lead lap. That is the 0-4 of Larry Anderson, as Ryan Hughes is caught to the back of the 91 of Elliott Smith again. So the battle recommencing between these three guys. They get ever closer as the laps go on, and we are almost, well, just under 30 laps to the end of stage 2. So nice little bits of action going on through the pack. Not too much though, as John Bergeron there is still holding off James Bunce for 8th place, and John Bergeron's got one hell of a tweaked car right there, not as much as James Bunce. Remember, these guys have got one fast repair that they can use. A lot of them haven't used it yet, as here comes Russ Charneski to put a lap on them now. Charneski has got Doug Thompson chasing him down as well, so he really cannot be held up at this point as they come out of turns 3 and 4, and there is Doug Thompson right on the same piece of tarmac as him now, as it's down to 0.5 of a second. He's took half a second out of him in 2 corners. Doug Thompson really on a charge right now. As he gets around James Bunce, and he's going to chase down that number 19 of Charneski going into turns 1 and 2. As Charneski's got problems of his own, he's trying to get around John Bergeron. Dive bomb City into turns 3 and 4. As Bergeron thinks better of it and gets out of the way. Bergeron, that also helped Bergeron actually, as he managed to slightly get a bit more away from James Bunce. But James Bunce really able to close back in very quickly. That gap between Charneski and Thompson really coming down now, as now this is the battle for 3rd place between the number 19 of Russ Charneski and the 13 of Doug Thompson. Doug Thompson really had a lot of bad luck last week at Bristol. Really wants to overcome that and get a decent result here tonight. He's doing that already. He's sitting in 4th place and really making a name for himself in this event. Next person for Spencer Brink to pass will be Ryan Hughes, who's in 6th place. There is Spencer Brink coming out of turn 4. Ryan Hughes is a bit further ahead than Spencer Preet. He's already on the backstretch, as Spencer Preet is just coming out of turn 2. So Spencer Preet really on a charge right now, and he really fancies his chance of winning this as he scrapes the wall again. Can't hit that wall too many times, Spencer, or something bad's going to happen. But Spencer Preet really trying to undo the bad luck he had last week after getting into it with lap traffic, and damaging his car like he did. As he's got a nice 1.2 second lead over Mark Arthur, who's there in 2nd place. Russ Charneski still battling out with Doug Thompson. Look at them as they come through turns 3 and 4. Doug Thompson, he gets right. He did this with Travis Brown earlier. He gets right behind them and then just sits behind them and relaxes for a while and just lets them run their race in front of him while the tyres run down. Let's go back to Elliott Smith there, who's on an island all to himself now, 5 seconds behind Doug Thompson. Had a good restart on that last restart, but soon fell backwards, unfortunately, and now he's all on his own there in 5th place. Ryan Hughes is there in 5th place. He's fallen back a bit behind Elliott Smith as well now, so Ryan Hughes really choosing to be the better man in this little battle. James Bunce has actually got around John Bergeron now and has pulled to a 4-second gap over John Bergeron. So John Bergeron must be really hurting from that damage on his number 119 machine, whereas James Bunce has just passed him and gained 4 seconds on him straight away. So awesome racing there for James Bunce. Meanwhile, let's go back to the battle for 3rd place, as there is Charneski, there is Doug Thompson, as Anderson has fallen to 4 laps down. Not sure what happened to the 0-4, as he has got one hell of a tweaked car. So problems there for the 0-4, didn't quite catch it. I will apologise, I am on my own tonight, so I'm not going to catch everything here tonight, as I'm going to go back to the battle between Czarneski and Thompson, as that seems to be the closest one there right now. As Ryan Hughes is still there in 6th place, and Spencer Preet really just biding his time right now and just relaxing in that number 27. As Mark Arthur's starting to reel him in again. He's just taken a 10th out of him on that last lap, so Mark Arthur really going to put the pedal to the floor now and try and close in on the championship leader as that Powerpuff Girls car goes into power mode, as they say. I don't know why I made that noise. It's one of those nights tonight. It's Saturday night, guys. We're partying. Anyway, there's Russ Czarneski in 3rd place. Doug Thompson is in 4th. Really hounding that number 19 now. Trying to get as close as he can, but still, as I already mentioned, not really making any moves on Czarneski. But Czarneski has already been into it with Doug Thompson, if you remember. Czarneski getting loose coming out of turn 4 and Thompson running him over. So Thompson really wants to keep his distance from the 19 and maybe hopefully pass him in the pit stops when the stage is over. Mark Arthur has closed that gap to within a second now, so Mark Arthur on a charge now. He wants the stage win. Can't let Spencer Preet sweep the board, so he's just got to put his foot to the floor now as we're 10 laps to go to the end of stage 2. Spencer Preet is your leader, Mark Arthur 2nd, Russ Czarneski 3rd. Only just those. Doug Thompson is 4th. Elliott Smith is 5th. Right there in the number 91. 6th is Ryan Hughes. 7th is James Bunce. 8th is John Bergeron. 9th is Travis Brown. And rounding out the top 10 is Nelson Hill. Carl Gilbert is there in 11th place, albeit 3 laps down. Larry Anderson is 4 laps down in 12th. Carlton Hendry is on pit road. He is 18 laps down now, so unfortunate for him. Like I said before, having a difficult night. Hunter King is back out on track now. He is in 14th. Got some laps to make up now as he has got some damage fixed on that number 95 machine, as he has got Larry Anderson right behind him. Meanwhile, let's go back to the battle between Czarneski and Thompson. Thompson still holding station behind the 19. Taking a look on the inside as they go through turns 3 and 4. Not really going to take a bite out of it this time, but still just biding his time behind the 19. Speaking of people biding their time behind somebody, Mark Arthur is not doing that. He is absolutely put his foot to the floor now. Really wants to chase down the 27 of Spencer Preet. Really wants to get up to that lead and get the stage win, but he is running out of time. He has got 6 laps to go before the end of stage 2, so he really needs to get something done at this moment. He is 0.6 of a second behind our current race leader, Spencer Preet. So little battles going on through the track. Ryan Hughes is being chased down by James Bunce now. James Bunce is, well, I can't see what the gap is between them. Let's go to the 2-car battle. Wait, there we go. No, that one. The gap right now is, still can't tell because it won't tell me. Okay. Okay. Still won't tell me there either. Oh my god. Now, let's go back to the battle between Thompson and Czarneski. Thompson's on the inside of Czarneski now. Gonna get a drag race so far on turn 2 and onto the backstretch into turn 3. They're still side by side. Why did I turn away from this battle? Because it's finally sprung into life as Doug Thompson gets into the wall out of turn 4, getting loose, and that is the end of that battle. Doug Thompson getting it all wrong, putting the move on Russ Czarneski. Russ Czarneski had nowhere to go, and Doug Thompson coming off the worst of that as we are on lap 98 of 200, almost up to halfway. We're on the final lap of the stage as there is Spencer Preet about to get his second stage win of the race as Carlton Hendry hits the wall again. Spencer Preet coming through turns 3 and 4, and Spencer Preet is going to get the stage win here at Richmond, or is he? Has the flag come out yet? No, it isn't. He's got one more lap to do, sorry. One more lap to go as it comes through turns 3 and 4. Mark Arthur getting ever closer as they come through turns 3 and 4, but this is going to go to Spencer Preet. Spencer Preet is going to take stage 2 as still no caution. There it is. There's the caution. So at the age of stage 2, oh, let's go to our top 10. Spencer Preet is the winner of stage 2, so that's 2 stage wins for Spencer Preet. He's swept both of the stages so far. Mark Arthur is 2nd, Russ Traneski is 3rd, Doug Thompson 4th, Elliott Smith is 5th, Ryan Hughes is 6th, 7th is James Bunce, 8th is Travis Brown, Carl Vincent Gilbert is 9th, and collecting the last point for 10th place is Larry Anderson, albeit 4 laps down. So stage 2 is in the books. Going to begin the last stage now as we're going to go to maybe an interview right now. Let's go and speak to... oh, there's not many people in the chat right now. You know what? I think I'm going to leave the interviews for now, as I know people are going to be concentrating on getting their races done. So there is Spencer Preet in pit road. Let's put the pit road timer up as they all hit the boxes pretty nicely, as Spencer Preet is going to get still in pit road 15.3, 15.4 for Mark Arthur, but Spencer Preet wins the race off pit road and he is back in the lead of this thing. So Spencer Preet first off pit road. 2nd is when interview decides to work. 2nd is Mark Arthur. 3rd is Russ Traneski out of pit road. 4th is Doug Thompson taking a fast repair, so much needed fast repair for him, and that might help him as when we go green again. 5th is Ryan Hughes now. 6th is Elliott Smith. So Ryan Hughes are managing to jump Elliott Smith in pit road. James Bunce is 7th, 8th. Travis Brown now, who is only 1 lap down, so watch for him to get another lap back should there be another caution between now and the end of the race. Carl Gilbert is 9th. Larry Anderson is 10th, still 4 laps down. Nelson Hill is 11th. John Bergeron has put his car behind the wall, so problems for the 119. His race is over. Hunter King is in 13th place, I believe, wherever he's gone. Wait, where's he gone? There he is. There's Hunter in 13th place. He is 20 laps down after that. After we saw the big one earlier on, and Colin Hendry is on pit road again after he clattered the wall close to the end of stage 2. Now, I haven't done this the last couple of weeks, but when we go green again, I think if they're all close enough and they don't get spread out as quickly as they did before last couple of weeks, how about we do some crank it up action? What do you say? People in the chat, what do you think? Texie, you can join me in the booth if you want to, mate. I don't mind. Could do with a bit of company. Let's drag Tex down, see if he wants to stick with me in the booth. It's got Troy Lent in TeamSpeak now, so Troy Lent turning up in the chat as well. As it looks like they are. The lights are out on the pace car, so We're about to get stage 3, the final stage, underway here at Richmond International Raceway. And away we go again. Stage 3 is underway, and immediately we are going to go to crank it up. Okay, so we've got Spencer Preet back out in the lead again and already starting to stretch his legs over the 12 of Mark Arthur. Mark Arthur doesn't seem to really have an answer for him. Well, he gets up close to him at the end of the stages, but doesn't really seem to get close enough to be able to pass him. Russ Charneski there is in 3rd place. Has been through the wars already tonight, but he's still able to keep it up there in that top 3. Ryan Huser is in 4th. Meanwhile, back through the pack, we got Doug Thompson under pressure from Elliott Smith. Elliott Smith wants that top 5. And is he going to get it? He's hanging it tight on the outside. It looks like Doug Thompson's got damage on that car already. He's just taking his fast repair. Come on, Doug. And it looks like Elliott Smith has actually taken a fast repair as well as... Where is he? Larry Anderson, he's taking his fast repair. Carl Gilbert is there. He looks like he's taking a fast repair too. And he has not. James Bunce is there in the number 9. He is currently battling with Travis Brown. That is for position. James Bunce on the inside of Travis Brown. Very close as they come out of turn 4. The side-by-side as they cross the line. Give that one to Travis Brown as they make their way towards turns 1 and 2. As Bunce loses it! Bunce loses it going out of turn 1 and 2. Is that going to bring out a caution? It might, and it does. James Bunce brings out caution number 4 of the night. Let's take a look at that again as James Bunce comes through turns 1 and 2. Turns 3 and 4, gets side by side with Travis Brown. This was the battle we were actually focusing on as they go into turns 1 and 2. Bunce just loses the back end going through turn 1, and that was going to be the end of it. And then during the spin around to try and get back on track, he actually brought out the caution at that point as Carlton Hendry was making his way around the corner. So caution number 4 out. Caused by Mr. James Bunce, still managing to hold on to 8th place despite that spin, so not bad going for the number 9. Spencer Preet is your leader right now. Mark Arthur is in 2nd, Russ Charneski is 3rd, Ryan Huser 4th, and top 5 is rounded up by Elliott Smith, who finally managed to hold off the number 13. As it looks like we've got people coming down pit road. Yes, we do. We've got Spencer Preet coming down pit road. We've got Mark Arthur coming down pit road. We've got Russ Charneski, Huser, Elliott Smith, Doug Thompson, and obviously James Bunce actually stays out this time. So Bunce trying to get a lap back. Actually, a lot of people trying to get laps back. Travis Brown, not one of those, as he is still 1 lap down, and he's had to make a pit stop. Didn't get any damage from that incident because he was nowhere near Bunce, but still coming down for a pit stop and getting some more Mr. Feelgoods and some fresh Sunoco fuel as we go back to our leader. Spencer Preet wins the race off pit road. 2nd is Russ Charneski. 3rd, Ryan Huser. What has happened to Mark Arthur? He's dropped to 4th place. He was 17 seconds in his pit stall. So problems for the 12 there after the pit stop. So unfortunate for Mr. Arthur. as he's got Elliott Smith behind him in 5th. Doug Thompson still right behind Elliott Smith in 6th. Travis Brown up to 7th now, albeit 1 lap down. 8th is Kyle Gilbert. 9th is James Bunce. 10th and last person on in the top 10 is Larry Anderson, albeit 3 laps down. Arthur. So they're making their way on lap 117 of 200. There is your leader, Spencer Preet. As they make their way into turns 1 and 2. The scene where James Bunce unfortunately spun his machine. Russ Charleski there in 2nd. Let's see what he can do now. He's up to 2nd place. Really challenging for 3rd places and 4th places during this race, but he's got the leader right in front of him this time, so can he try and make some kind of a move and get himself to the front of the field? This is the first time we've actually seen Russ Charleski this season, so interested to see how he's using his strategy and actually getting used to this track in the K&N car, as I still believe this is the first year they're using the K&N, so if I remember text telling me rightly, as the lights are off in the pace car, Russ Charleski pulls to the outside. Oh, Spencer Preet, I can't help but think that the outside line is going to have the advantage at this stage of the race, as we are going to be 81 laps remaining before the end of this event. Make their way through turns 3 and 4. Pace car goes off, waiting for Spencer Preet to get him going again. And away we go. Lap 120 underway, and we are under green once again. Russ Charleski gets off to a decent start behind Spencer Preet, but look at Ryan Huser. He's making his way up into 2nd place. What a move for the 38. But already Spencer Preet is already half a second up the road, as Ryan Huser is under challenge again by Charleski. Charleski wants that position back, pushes Huser up the road, and here comes Mark Arthur trying to make that inside line work. Gets around Huser. Now he's alongside Charleski, and now it looks like Mark Arthur might be getting that 2nd place back, and he does. What a move from Arthur. So Mark Arthur making up 2 positions on that restart. That was because of the fighting between Huser and Charleski. As I'm just going to look at something on Disney. As joining me in the booth now is actually Tex Perry. Tex, how you doing, buddy?
Sam, it's finally good to be here. We've had a little connection issues tonight, but I finally made it here and got up in the booth, come up to watch the race. I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you very much. As we're watching Ryan Hughes making his way for the corners, dropped a lot of spots after that battle for 2nd place with him and Charleski. Ryan Hughes really losing out in that battle, but the biggest winner in all of that was Mark Arthur. He moved from 4th to 2nd during that battle, so big winner there. Also another big winner was Elliott Smith. He's moved up to 4th place. Spencer Preet really dominant tonight, Tex.
Spencer has always been good everywhere, no matter what car, what track we've ever run. Mark Arthur, it was great to see him pulling the power move down on the inside, passing the 2 cars to get up into 2nd. He put in a lot of laps here last night, turning practice. And self-admittedly, Mark Arthur does not run well at Richmond, so that's surprising to see him running so much better than what he thought he would.
Well, we're no strangers to seeing power moves from Mark Arthur. We remember what he did last week at Bristol, going from 3rd place to the lead in the space of 2 corners on that last restart. So Mark Arthur, no stranger to doing those good old power moves, as he pulls right away from Charleski, and we've got a caution out. Let's see who that was. I can't quite see Looks like maybe Carlton Hendry. Not Carlton Hendry. Missed that. Unfortunately, sorry about that. Too much focusing on the close racing at the front, and I missed the cause of the caution.
I don't feel bad. I think I missed it too. I'm like you. I was watching Mark just trying to catch up to Spencer, and he's chipping away slowly but surely.
He's been doing that all race. He lets Spencer get away, and then as the race goes on, his tyres, it's almost like he comes to life, and then he catches up to the back of Spencer Preet, and then by the time he gets up to the back of him, it's almost too late. Spencer Preet gets into pit road. Mark Arthur goes with him, and Doug Thompson there as well. So who's going to win the race off pit road this time? Mark Arthur hopefully won't have the same problems he did last time round, as Spencer Preet is out easily in front of Mark Arthur. And Russ Czarneski's going to come out in second again, so more problems for Mark Arthur, as he's now going to drop to 7th place behind Doug Thompson, Elliott Smith, Ryan Hughes and Russ Czarneski and Spencer Preet. And look who's back at the front again, Mr. Travis Brown, after the wreck he had earlier.
I believe Mark is going to have some words for the guys at the shop after this race.
Yeah, he might have to fire his pit crew for that. That's 2 pit stops he's had problems with, and yeah, he's going to have some words with his pit crew in the number 12 garage. As we look at our leader, Spencer Preet, he's got Russ Czarneski right behind him again, and Ryan Hughes managing to get back up to 3rd again in that pit stop.
Ryan definitely, he's always good about hitting his marks. I've raced with Ryan for a long time. Actually, the paint scheme he's running tonight, he's bringing back an old friend, and we worked on that for a few hours, a little bit before the race. Finally got him all wrapped up and ready to go.
Yeah, and speaking of paint schemes, kudos on the number 91's paint scheme. That is one hell of a paint scheme on that car.
That's one, I've worked with Elliott for a while in the league, and that's one he's actually brought over just about all the cars he's run, and I've tried to help him out as much as we can.
Absolutely. As Elliott Smith is up to 4th place now, Doug Thompson is in 5th. Mark Arthur actually moves up to 6th now after Travis Brown took his car down to pit road. That was after Travis Brown getting the lucky dog, but Travis Brown has got himself back on the lead lap after being 2 laps down, so look for him to make his way through the pack as well, as he's probably going to be following Mark Arthur around people as well.
Travis has always reminded me a lot of Ryan Newman. You ask anybody in the NASCAR garage who's the toughest to pass, and they always say Ryan Newman. And Travis Brown's really the same way. Whether he's a lap down or not, he's going to give you fits trying to get around him, but he understands what a good battle is.
That's absolutely right, as he's there in 7th place. Kyle Gilbert is also back on the lead lap, so the 227 is there as well. James Bunce, who brought out the caution previous to this one, he is in 9th place, and rounding out the top 10 is Larry Anderson in the 04. Didn't see what happened to him earlier, but he lost 4 laps for some reason. Hopefully he could be getting his way back onto the lead lap very soon, as we're on lap 131, and the pace car is off again. We're about to get him going. Russ Czarneski getting a nose out in front as Spencer Preet hits the loud pedal. Russ Czarneski goes with him this time, but here comes Ryan Hughes getting another rocket of a start in the inside of Czarneski. Takes away 2nd place, and he's definitely the winner off that battle this time.
Ryan has definitely got the gear for these restarts for sure. Russ, looking at the back of his car, he's got a little bit of damage on the right rear. Looks like that may be a hindrance to him on these restarts, but I mean, he really makes up for it once everything gets going.
Yeah, and I'm definitely getting it going again as he gets around Ryan Hughes again, back up to 2nd place, and now he can chase down the 27 of Spencer Preet. Spencer Preet's not going to have it so easy this time round, as he's got another former champion right behind him in Czarneski. Ryan Hughes still right behind him, not falling back like he did last time, so he's staying onto the back of that number 19. He is there in 3rd place, and Elliott Smith just biding his time there in 4th place, and back with his usual sparring partner, Mr. Doug Thompson, who's also got some damage on the rear end of his car after taking a fast repair. Travis Brown, he's in trouble now. Well, he's not in trouble now. He's trying to put a pass to Mark Arthur. Mark Arthur able to stay in front of him at this point in 6th place, but Travis Brown looks like he's on a mission now since that incident. Trying to make the outside work, not going to make it work this time round as they go through turns 1 and 2. No, it's 3 and 4. I keep getting that wrong, you know. This track really confusing.
Travis can't. If I could talk, it's not like it's my job or anything. Definitely can't count out Travis Brown or Mark Arthur. They both good at running up towards the front. Mark definitely kind of got marred behind Travis there for a little bit as he's trying to make his way up to Doug Thompson to get in there.
Yeah, and if anybody knows how to pass people, it's the two that you see on your screen right now, Travis Brown and Mark Arthur. Those two trying to get their way back up the field again, as it's not going to be easy passing Elliott Smith and Doug Thompson. We've seen those two really go at it before with each other, as Doug Thompson almost gets out of shape coming out of turn 4. That's going to fall in right back in the grasp of Mark Arthur on the inside going into turns 1 and 2. Mark Arthur gets a bit out of shape as well. He's going to fall back into the grasp of Travis Brown. A 3-car battle now for 5th place, as Doug Thompson just about manages to hold on.
He's doing everything he can to try to keep that 12 car behind him, but he's giving him room at the same time. He's not going to hinder him as much as Mark makes his way off of turn 2 and around Doug Thompson, looking at Elliott Smith in his sights now.
Yeah, so Mark Arthur finally on the move, as we are now coming to 60 laps to go before the checkered flag. And as always, we've seen an entertaining race between these guys, getting very spread out in the early running. As we go back to look at Russ Charneski, he has still got Ryan Huser still behind him, but not as close as before. Oh, Hughes is in the wall! Hughes is in the wall, and he turns it upside down. That's going to bring out a caution, a huge wreck for the 38.
Oh, that's a hard hit, especially after the night he's had with all the great restarts.
Absolutely, I'm surprised he's got that car still running, as he's now crabbing it down the backstretch, but really getting into the wall there. Let's go back and take a look at that as he's making his way through turns 3 and 4. Really trying to get onto the back as he gets out of shape, coming out of turn 4 onto the tri-oval. Flips his car over, does a bit of a wall ride and gets it going again, but really huge crash there for Ryan Huser. And that is really going to put him back at least a lap down, because unless he takes his fast repair.
With a car looking like that, I hope he's got a fast repair, especially as fast as he's been throughout the race tonight.
Yeah, as he's going to bring it down pit road again. I think everyone's going to bring it down pit road again. Tyres are at an optimum here tonight, so everybody's going to try and make sure they're going to get the freshest tyres possible on the amount of every time there is a caution out, as Russ Charneski, he's been the fastest guy off pit road tonight by a long shot, gets into his pit box nice and carefully. Spencer Preet in his pit box too. Mark Arthur actually looks like he's going to get a better pit stop tonight, because he actually, this time round, as he gets into his stall nice and cleanly. Let's see how they get away. Spencer Preet is going to win the race off pit road. Mark Arthur is going to be the second man off pit road. So Mark Arthur... No, James Bunt stayed out. So... Oh, James Bunt's got a lucky dog.
Big game for Elliott Smith coming off pit road third with Doug Thompson right behind him too.
So Elliott Smith, another winner off pit road, as Russ Charneski must have got it all wrong in pit road, because I'm going to assume he stayed in his box a bit longer to repair the damage on the rear end of his car, because it looks a bit better now. Only a tiny bit.
Anything's better. Slowly but surely, even the caution laps tick off fairly fast here at Richmond, so if you can get any damage repaired during a pit stop, you got to get what you can.
Absolutely, as Mark Arthur getting the dream stop he wanted this time round, moving up to second place, leapfrogging at least, what, 3-4 cars on that pit stop. So what a pit stop for the number 12.
Right, exactly. And he is definitely going to be looking to get around Spencer as quick as he can. Spencer's been fast on these restarts all night, especially controlling these restarts, and Mark's going to look to get around him and at least stay with him.
Yeah, and he's going to be on that high line as well, so the high line will be coming into play at this point in the race as the rubber is down on that outside now. Mark Arthur has been getting close to Spencer Preet, but not really getting close enough to get around him, and Mark Arthur does have that damage on the right hand side of his car, so that might play into Spencer Preet's favour. Spencer Preet is going to try and make that car as wide as possible if Mark Arthur gets to him, because Spencer Preet is looking for redemption after his troubles last week.
Looking at Elliott Smith, going to be restarting in third. I'm anxious to see what he can do on this restart. Looking at his car, minimal, if any, damage. So I think he's really going to give these guys a run for their money down into 1 and 2.
Absolutely, as I think he did have some damage earlier, so I'm guessing he's used up his fast repair already at this point in the race. As the lights are off on the pace car again, more wave rounds being had as we now have not 8 cars back on the lead lap. That's James Bunce there in P8, and he's used his fast repair finally as well. James Bunce in 8th, Kyle Gilbert in 7th, Travis Brown in 6th, Charneski in... no, Charneski's in... yeah, 5th. Spencer Preet there in the lead as the pace car is about to peel off again. They're going through turns 3 and 4. There goes the pace car, and Spencer Preet wastes no time in getting him going. Arthur gets lots of wheel spin on that restart, and Elliott Smith takes advantage of that. You were saying how Elliott Smith would react on the restart, and has reacted beautifully, as he's now going to get up to intersecting place, or is he? As Arthur's going to try and fight that outside line. Drag race up into turn 3. They're getting ever so close going into turn 3 and 4. Still side by side as they come onto the tri-oval to complete lap 147. Still side by side as they go into turns 1 and 2, and behind them Russ Charleski is side by side with Doug Thompson. Doug Thompson taking the bear of it, as here comes Travis Brown as well, trying to get himself into the conversation. Mark Arthur still hanging in on that outside though for second place, as Spencer Preet is checked out while they're all battling behind him. Mark Arthur really holding on for dear life, as here comes Elliott Smith still trying to take that second place away, but Mark Arthur lives to survive, lives to fight on another day.
Mark with that big run off the outside of turn 2 down the backstretch clears the 91, and the 91 settles in as Russ Charneski is putting the 91 in his sights.
Absolutely, he's managed to get away from Doug Thompson, who has unfortunately lost his top 5 position now to Travis Brown, who is also on a charge. So watch for that 0-1 to come from the field, as we've already seen it tonight. As yeah, you're right, Charneski's really putting Elliott Smith under pressure now, right on his rear fender now as they go into turns 1 and 2. So I'm wondering if Elliott Smith has used up his tyres already, trying to fight with Mark Arthur, as Charleski makes a look on the inside. They're side by side as they're going to come out of turn 2. Charleski gets a bit out of shape as turn 3 and 4. I did it again as they're going across the tri-oval into turns 1 and 2 for real this time. As the side by side not really going to make it way this time. Charneski is still going to stay in 4th place. Elliott Smith survives to fight another day. Travis Brown back under pressure again from Doug Thompson. Doug Thompson's not going to give this fight up easily.
Oh gosh, no. Doug Thompson, he's definitely, just like Travis, he's one of the harder ones to get around. I myself have personally had some good races with Doug, and as you've seen at Texas, you know, even coming down to the last final lap, as he hits the wall, ouch, big damage to the back end of that car.
Yeah, Thompson and Travis Brown both tagging the wall coming out of turn 4. As Travis Brown, that must have lit a fire under him, because he's really caught up to the back of Charneski now. Charneski's going to be under pressure from the 0-1 as here he comes out of turn 2, gonna get a run behind turn 4, gonna get a run on the 19. This track confuses me. There's a reason why they call it the D-shaped demon, because it confuses.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. Now, as Elliott Smith is still under pressure from Charneski, but Travis Brown is getting himself in on the conversation for that number 3 spot as they come out of turn 4. As here comes Charneski on the inside of Elliott Smith finally gets his advantage. The 91 hanging in on the outside, really going to get the run as they go onto the backstretch. Are they going to get it going into turns 3 and 4? Still side by side as they come out of turn 4 and to complete another lap. And here comes Travis Brown. They're going to try and make it 3 wide as they go into turns 1 and 2. Here comes Travis Brown. Gonna get the clear, or is he? They're still 3 wide as they come out of turn 2 onto the backstretch. Travis Brown really putting the hammer down as he's going to take 2. He's going to get a 2 for 1 here as they go across the stripe. And he's up to 3rd place as here comes Elliott Smith trying to make a run on the inside again. Not going to give up that position easily, but this is Travis Brown we're talking about. What a comeback that guy's had tonight as, yep, he gets the clear now and has finally taken away that 3rd place.
And Doug Thompson sneaking in up on that mix with all that 3 wide racing too.
Absolutely, he's going to get on the inside of Charneski, who's actually lost 1 position on that little ordeal there. It was Travis Brown that got the 2 for 1 out of that mixture as Doug Thompson is on the inside of Charneski and he's going to get the clear. So Doug Thompson back up to the top 5. Charneski starting to fall backwards now.
Right. Elliott Smith has really impressed me. I'm sure he's used up a lot out of them tires, especially when he was battling with Mark on the inside. Taking a weird low line through the front stretch in the D shape. And I think trying to get down into 1 and 2 really cost him on his tires and made them mad. So I think he backed off and let them cool down and got another run at it. And that's when Travis got in there with him.
Yeah, and here comes Doug Thompson on the inside of Elliott Smith. And he's going to try and take away 4th place from from Smith as they drag racing down the backstretch again. And is he going to make it work? As here comes Charneski as well, trying to get himself in on the conversation. This is a 3-car battle now, probably a 4-car battle as they're also closing in on Travis Brown. Another 4-car battle as here comes Doug Thompson on the inside. He's already taken Elliott Smith. Now he wants a piece of Travis Brown as they come down the backstretch. Lap 162 out of 200. Has to give it up as they go into turn 3. Travis Brown lives to fight on another day as they go side by side again coming out of turn 4. This is really close racing action. This is what we've been waiting for in this race, and now we're getting it between these 4 cars. They're really putting on a show right now.
That is for sure. This is the racing we have been looking for all season.
Absolutely, as Doug Thompson finally takes away 3rd place from Travis Brown. Travis Brown must be banging his steering wheel because he thought he had that position locked and safe and he was going to try and chase down Mark Arthur, but no. Doug Thompson thinks of it otherwise, takes away 3rd place, and they're coming up on lap traffic as well, as that is Carlton Hendry right in front of them.
But can Doug Thompson get away? That's the question. Can either of them actually break away and try to run down Mark Arthur?
That's not going to be an easy task as they're already 5 seconds behind the 12. And speaking of Mark Arthur, he's fallen himself to 1.5 seconds behind Spencer Preet, who again is putting on another clinic tonight.
You can never count out the 27 or the 12 to actually be up front. Doug Thompson with the impressive run tonight, though, getting up into 3rd, and Travis hanging on to top 5.
Yes, Travis Brown is now falling into the clutches of Russ Charneski as Russ Charneski dive bombs it into turn 3 out of turn 4 and takes away that 4th place from Travis Brown. The positions between these top 4, they're changing almost every lap, and Charneski really got another second set of life out of those tyres because now he's back up to 4th place. Elliott Smith starting to fall back a bit slightly now though.
I just wonder if the 01 has used up them tires as he took it 3 wide with the 19 and the 91 earlier.
Yeah, he's kind of used that turbo boost very quickly and already is starting to feel the pain from that as he's dropped back to 5th place. Still in the top 5 though. That's a creditable position considering where he was in the early running of this race. So not a bad running for the 0-1 there as Doug Thompson is still under pressure from Russ Charneski. Charneski wants that top 3 back again, but is not, as you've already said, Doug Thompson is not an easy person to pass.
Nah, definitely not going to go down easy, but if anybody can do it, I got my money on Russ.
Well, he's not a former champion for nothing, but then again, Doug Thompson is a former champion too, so these two Former champions really going at it, and that's what we see in this championship, in this league. Plenty of former champions really digging it out tonight, and there's two of them right there that really know how to race and really know how to have a nice fight when it comes to this part of the race. As we are 30 to go, Czarneski getting out of shape as they come out of turn 4. That's going to let Travis Brown back in as they go into turn 1. Side by side, Travis Brown gets a piece of the apron, almost gets out of shape himself, so they're going to have another drag race down on the backstretch. Russ Czarneski, the winner in this occasion. But that was because Travis Brown hit the apron on the exit of turn 2. Let's go back to Ryan Hughes. As something's happened to him, as well, we already know what happened to him. He's already 2 laps down. I can't help but think what could have been for that number 38 after being so high up in the field and then having that huge wreck in that last caution. As we're now under 30 laps to go in this race session. Let's go back and look at the battle for... Well, it's not really a battle anymore, as Doug Thompson has pulled away from Travis Brown. He's in 3rd. Travis Brown is in 4th. Russ Czarneski is backed off as well. He's in 5th. Elliott Smith is in 6th. He's backed off to almost a 2nd behind Czarneski. Gilbert is having a very quiet race. He's there in 7th. James Bunt, another one having a quiet race after all he's been through. He's having a quiet second part of the race, actually, because he was involved in the big one earlier in the race. Ryan Hughes, Ryan Hughes has wrecked it again. Ryan Hughes, that is going to be the end of his night, unfortunately, as the caution is out again. Gets it all wrong in the tri-oval again. Let's go and have a look at that again. Comes through turns 1 and 2. And seems okay there, but he's got a damaged car if we remember from the last time he wrecked. Let's go see him go through there. Turn 3 and 4. Gets it all wrong again coming out of turn 4 and again flips his car. Ryan Hughes is out of this event, unfortunately.
Definitely used the tires up on that run trying to get back, but unfortunate for him, that big push coming out of 4 just put him straight in the wall.
Yeah, he tried to straighten it up again, but it just shot him like a lawn dart into that outside wall. And unless he's used up his fast repair, I can't see Ryan Hughes making any more of an impact in this race tonight. Spencer Preet right there is bringing it down pit road. They get into the boxes nice and clean. Let's put the pit stop counter up this time. We missed out on it last time, so go figure. As it looks like Spencer Preet's going to win the race of pit road. Oh, that's very close between him and Arthur. 14.3, the exact same time on pit road. Spencer Preet getting out in literally 4 thousandths of a second. That's how close it was off pit road. Actually,
I think Mark
Arthur won it.
Mark Arthur definitely had some words with the pit crew on that last run. So look, boys, you got to straighten up, or we ain't gonna be able to do nothing.
Mark Arthur winning the race off pit road, and something's happened. Oh, I think Spencer Preet's been popped for speeding because he's falling back for the field. I think he's got an EOL.
Oh, never a cop when you need one, right?
I know, right? So Spencer Preet trying to beat Mark Arthur off pit road, actually popped for speeding in pit road, and he's been given an EOL and has to fall to the back of the field. So watch that 27 on that on the restart, because he is going to be like a man possessed when they go green again.
But with looking like 20, maybe inside of 20 to go, it's going to be fun to watch him come to the field and see if he can get back to Mark Arthur.
Yeah, Mark Arthur, as you've already said, Tex, he's not a person that enjoys this track. So is that going to fall in? Is that going to come like be one thing that works against him and works in Doug Thompson's favour, as he's up to 2nd as well? So Doug Thompson actually really having a strong part of the race. He's really coming on strong in this part. He's already up to 2nd place. Has he got enough in that number 13 to challenge the 12?
I I don't know if anybody's got anything to challenge the 12 except for the 27 in the back. But on the restart, it's definitely going to be interesting watching Doug Thompson, Travis Brown, Russ Charneski, and Elliott Smith put on a good battle for second place as Spencer Preet tries to come back through the field.
Yeah, and he's going to have to... that EOL is actually going to put him right behind the lap traffic as well. So he's got lap traffic to deal with as well as the cars in front of him. I can't say it's going to be a difficult ask for Spencer Preet to get through the field because he's done it before and we know he can do it. But yeah, it's an uphill challenge from here to get the win from Mark Arthur, or anybody behind Mark Arthur for that matter.
Curious to see how Mark's going to handle this restart. Most of them that I've been able to watch, he's been stuck on the outside. Now he's going to be controlling the restart once the pace car ducks off, and it's going to be real interesting.
Well, Spencer Preet's been the leader from the get-go. He got a huge jump on the first start as the pace car is about to peel off. And we're about to get him going again. Travis Brown really right on the tail of the 12 as they get him going again. Travis Brown gets the inside of Doug Thompson. Travis Brown's going to take away second place as Mark Arthur gets away nice and cleanly.
Wow, definitely good restart on Travis Brown. Now, does he have anything for Mark Arthur is the question.
That is a very good question, as all three of them are very close together as they come through turns 3 and 4 to complete another lap. We are 20 laps to go, about to go 19 to go at the stripe, and they've just done that. Let's go back to Spencer Preet. Has already made up 2 positions and is already looking on the back of Elliott Smith. That man is on a charge right now, and I'm guessing he's very angry behind the wheel of that 27. Meanwhile, Mark Arthur has pulled away from the battle behind him. That is between Doug Thompson, who's got the inside line and has taken away second place from Travis Smith. Doug Thompson on the move again. Here comes Travis Brown, again trying to get that position back, but look at the hounds of dogs behind him as Spencer Preet takes away 5th place from Elliott Smith. Here comes the 27. I can't see anybody stopping him at this point, as he's just going to be like a man possessed as he's got the inside of Russ Charneski. Takes away 4th place. Next in his sides is Travis Brown. This is a wonderful thing to see for Spencer Preet right now, making his way through the field like he is.
Preet driving like a madman to try to get back to Mark Arthur as Mark pulls away, and the battle's still heating up between Travis Brown and Doug Thompson for second.
Yeah, those two guys have barely been apart from each other for the past, I'm going to say 60 to 80 laps, that they are almost side by side. Travis Brown almost getting it wrong out of turn 2. He's going to fall into the clutches of Spencer Preet, who's desperate to get that top 3 away from the 0-1 and the 13 as they come across the line. We are 15 laps to go here at Richmond International Raceway, and the race is on for second place. Definitely not for third place, as Mark Arthur is almost a second up the road from Doug Thompson, who's in second place. As Spencer Preet makes the dive bomb on Travis Brown, gets the inside line as they come out of turn 4. Spencer Preet is going to take that 3rd place away from Travis Brown, and then next up the road is a very difficult person to pass. That's Doug Thompson in second place, but with 14 laps to go, he's been giving people room before, but is Doug Thompson going to give him room this time round as they come out of turn 4? Doug Thompson very close to the wall as Spencer Preet is alongside the 13. Spencer Preet is up to second already. This is unbelievable racing from the 27. Now his next target is the Mark Arthur car, 1.2 seconds up the road. Has he got time to catch him?
That is the question. Does he have time? But Spencer Preet is a man on a mission. He wants that lead back, and he wants it now.
Yeah, absolutely, as he's making his way out of turn 2. Already got the lead down to 1.1 seconds. He's already taken a 1/10 of a second out of the number 12. Actually, the 12 is responding now. He's gained a 10th back over Spencer Preet. So Spencer Preet knows that he's got a battle on his hands. Mark Arthur knows that Spencer Preet is coming as well, so he's responded in spectacular fashion as Doug Thompson behind them gets a bit out of shape coming out of turn 2. He's fallen back into the grasps of Travis Brown. Russ Charneski decided to back off at this point. I think Russ is just going to settle for a top 5 at this point.
I can't say that I blame him. This is a tough track to get the hang on. Spencer Preet really seems to have a handle on it Mark Arthur is just so smooth. If Preet can get to him, I don't know if he can get around him.
Well, Spencer Preet is really struggling to get up to him right now, as Mark Arthur has responded again, extended the gap to over to about 1.3 seconds now. So it's Spencer Preet's in the wall.
Oh, that's not going to help his run for Mark.
Absolutely not, as he's lost another 0.2 of a second. Spencer Preet racing out of his skin as we are 8 laps to go here at Richmond. Not long to go, and I don't think Spencer Preet has got enough time to catch up to Mark Arthur. But as we've said before in previous broadcasts, catching is one thing, overtaking is completely another.
That is the truth, and especially at Richmond with it being a hard track to pass at anyway.
Absolutely, as there is Spencer Preet is still 1.4 seconds behind. He's got damage on that number 27 now, so really going to be a hard task to catch up to Mark Arthur. Doug Thompson has actually pulled a gap between him and Russ Charneski now, who's moved up to 4th place. Travis Brown has fallen to 5th place, so problems for the 0-1 there. He is out of the top 3 picture as it seems for this moment. Spencer Preet now got the gap down to 1.3 seconds, but he's not got enough time as Mark Arthur is about to cross the line, as we are now 5 to go here at Richmond. Not long left to go. This race is in Mark Arthur's hands, but I'm not going to jinx him at this point because anything could happen with 5 laps to go. We saw this last week at Bristol. I said this race was in Spencer Preet's hands, or Mark Arthur's hands. He had a 7-second lead at one point and let it slip, so not going to say anything at this point. Travis Brown, unfortunate for him, made a good run back for the field, but he's going to settle for just 5th place. I think he's going to get a top 5 as Elliott Smith has now dropped back as well. I don't think he's got anything left in that number 91 as we're about to go 3 to go. Spencer Preet got that gap down to 1.2 seconds now, so still trying. He's just taken 0.2 of a second out of Mark Arthur on that last few corners alone.
I think Preet has kind of stepped back after hitting the wall, and he hits it again. As I think he tried to step back and regroup and let them tires cool down, see if he can't get one final run at it coming to the flag.
As the popsicle sticks are out this time round, we are 2 laps to go, and Mark Arthur is your leader here in that Powerpuff Girls number 12. 2nd place is Spencer Preet, 3rd is Doug Thompson, 4th is Russ Charneski, rounding out the top 5 is Travis Brown, 6th is Elliott Smith, 7th is Carl Gilbert, 8th is James Bunce, 9th is Larry Anderson, and 10th, a very good top 10 so far, is Nelson Hill. As here we go on the final lap, the white flag is out onto the backstretch. Spencer Preet's going to make one last run of it. He's under a second, but it's going to be too late as Mark Arthur makes his way through turns 3 and 4 and wins, makes it 2 from 2 at Richmond International Raceway.
Wow, great drive from Mark Arthur. I think what won that race for him was winning that race off of pit road and Spencer getting hit with that speeding ticket. That definitely hurt Spencer for sure, especially after dominating the race.
Absolutely, as he's made it 2 from 2 now, so he may not like this track, but he seems to be a bit of a short track specialist at the moment.
He has definitely showed his prowess on the short tracks. I'm anxious to see what everybody's going to do next week as we head to Talladega.
Yeah, next week is going to be absolutely off the chain as we go to Speed Week and Talladega. Let's go and get some interviews started right now, Tex, as we are going to bring our 3rd place finisher into the booth now. Once I get TeamSpeak sorted, we're going to bring. Oh, Doug Thompson's not in TeamSpeak, so I'm not going to be able to. Oh, there he is, Dougie Doug. There he is. Didn't recognise the name for a second. As we're going to bring our 3rd place finisher into the booth. A strong second half of the race, Doug Thompson. I bet you're happy with 3rd place right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. I had a car that was good on the long runs, and so in the first part of the race, I was loving it. But we started getting too many cautions close together there at the end. I kept getting shuffled further and further back.
Great run, Doug. Good to see you mixing it up with Travis Brown, Elliott Smith, even Russ. We were hooked on that battle for the last part of the race. Amazing drive.
Yeah, that was the second time that I was battling with Russell. We had a big battle earlier. Mark and Spencer are just in a class above all the rest of us right now, and so we're still trying to catch up. Getting a little closer, though. I had him in sight at the end.
A little bit of damage on your car through that last run. Did that seem to hinder you up any?
Yeah, it seemed to make me a little tighter, and I was having to snap you on the exit there, but it was okay.
Absolutely, it seemed like you were just conserving the tires and like letting everybody race around you for the first part of the first two stages, but you really did come alive in the second part of the race and really making some really good moves on everybody around. So really good position there to finish there, Doug, for third place. Looking ahead to next week, and we go to the fast track at Talladega. What are your thoughts going to that one?
Oh, just cross my fingers and pray.
Yeah, it's going to be one hell of a week. So anybody you'd like to thank or give a shout out for your third place finish tonight?
Just MLA Racing and having a lot of fun here.
Okay, Doug, well, congratulations on third place, and we'll let you get back up and celebrate your podium.
Thank you.
Okay, that was Doug Thompson finishing third place here at Richmond International Raceway. Just bear me a second before I bring Spencer down, so I'm going to take the scroll off. There we are. Now, before we go any further, let's bring our second place finisher, Spencer Preet. Spencer Preet coming home in second place. Spencer, you tried your hardest to catch up to Mark Arthur in the end, but that ELL you got on the last caution really hurt you, didn't it?
Yeah, it sucks. I even made a conscious decision to try to take it easy coming into the pits, because I've been kind of cutting it close a couple times entering pit road, and then it was halfway down, I just barely hit 41 mile an hour for about a second, and it popped up saying speed, and I was like, oh, that just made it interesting. I'm gonna have to actually pass people for the first time tonight, and yeah, it sucks that it had to happen on the last stop. I was kind of hoping for a quick caution, maybe just a couple laps into it to get it all regrouped, but it didn't happen. It's unfortunate.
Well, you did. Sorry, Tex.
I was going to say, absolute dominant car, Spencer, throughout the whole race and up until that last stint. What was it like trying to come back through the field? Did you end up using up the tires early trying to get back up to catch Mark, or what happened?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it typically how almost every run went tonight was, I could get a pretty good jump, and then I was in rhythm those first 3-4 laps, and I'd pop off a few fives and put about a second and a half on everyone else, and then I could kind of just find my rhythm. But there was no real way to find my rhythm. I was kind of having to just find anywhere I could get around people as quick as I could, because I knew the more laps that went by, the further out ahead Mark could be, and the more I was going to use my tires and the less I'd have to use whenever I finally was able to start reeling them in. So I wore it out, especially. I think I was behind Travis and Doug, and I think that took about 2 laps for me to get around them, and that was really what hurt me, because at that point, that was 2 laps of, fresher tires that I didn't have when I finally got to second and could start trying to reel in Mark. And my setup kind of goes through these stages where it's not quite all that consistent for kind of the, after about 5, 6, 7 laps into the run, it kind of starts getting a little inconsistent, but then, another 10, 15 laps after that, it really starts to come in, and I just needed probably another 10 laps, and I maybe could have started to reel him back and maybe get to his bumper.
Absolutely, and definitely one hell of a run tonight. I mean, you got both. You won the first 2 stages dominantly before all hell broke loose on the final stage, but definitely nothing to be upset about. I mean, you led the most laps tonight, and obviously you came up short after that mistake on pit road, but Looking ahead to next week, Spencer, we're going from the short track to the fastest track. What are your thoughts going to Talladega next week?
To stay alive, really, is the thought there. It's definitely gonna be a game changer. There's gonna be, depending on how many people show up. I mean, that's gonna be how big the pack's gonna be, and we have the reset, but I'm gonna just try to keep her clean all race and be alive there at the end, because I mean, anything's possible at Talladega.
Absolutely. And is there anybody you'd like to thank or give a shout out for tonight's second place?
Shout out to all my teammates, Mark, Travis, Cozy wasn't here tonight. Shout out to Tex for keeping all this together, and shout out to you guys for putting on a good broadcast.
Okay, Spencer, coming home in second place. We'll let you get back up to the lobby and celebrate your second place.
Thank you.
That was Spencer Pre coming home in second place. Seemed a bit unhappy with how things went at the end of the race, but you can't be too unhappy about second place.
No, definitely not after the drive he had on that last run.
Absolutely. That was. I was going to compare the amount of cars he passed like to Ayrton Senna at Donington in '93, but that's a Formula One thing. Anyway, let's go to our winner now. Where he is? There he is. From the outhouse to the penthouse and making it 2 from 2 tonight, taking advantage of the penalty for Spencer Preet. Mark Arthur, one happy man tonight, I'm guessing.
Well, yeah, because I told you last week this track doesn't like me very much.
Yeah, we remember.
Bit of trouble on pit road there for a couple stops, Mark. What happened?
Well, actually, one of them was, I don't know what happened. I guess iRacing has put in some air gun jams or something, because it was like a 16-second stop. I mean, I came into pits fine, hit my marks fine, just took that long. I was like, what in the world? It's like 2 seconds slower than everybody else. So I don't know what happened on that one. And the second one was my fault, where I was like 43 mile an hour when I hit the line, and I got a speeding penalty, and I had about 10 seconds of damage. So I just decided just EOL anyway. I just sat in there and let them fix it. So yeah, it still wasn't, I don't know what, it was really weird to set up. It went from being okay to, I kept loosening it up all night, and it went like really loose there at one point, and I don't know, and then there at the end it was okay. I don't know if it's clean air or what it was, but it felt a lot better at the end than it had all night.
Well, definitely after racing with you before, Mark, I know you're one of the smoothest drivers out there, and you really showed it tonight, especially after that last pit stop. I'm pretty sure on that run you had told them boys, look, hey, we need to get this straight or we're not even going to have a chance, but definitely got away from them.
Yeah, the last stop was like a 13.8. I almost would have beat Spencer out anyway without the penalty. We were neck and neck, but he got the penalty. He had told us when he went down pit road they got the penalty, and then I looked down and it was like, I forget how many to go. It was like 20 something to go, and I was like, he's gone all the way back to 8th. I know how long it took me to drive back up there and how far Spencer was able to pull away when I had the penalty. So it really sucks that he gets a loss that way, because he definitely was the car to beat tonight. Like I said last week, I'm sure if Cozy was here, he'd have been right there with him, if not in front of him. I'd have been racing for a 3rd or 4th or 5th, or who knows. But it really sucks. I hate that for Spencer. I'd much rather race him for it than get it like that, but hell, I'll take it.
Well, 2 for 2 with the Powerpuff Girls car. Got any thoughts going into Talladega next week?
Yeah, I love that car. I mean, I think it looks good, and it's a nice little joke. But I've always won well in that car, so I don't know. Maybe it's my good luck charm.
Just want to point out, it was 4 thousandths of a second between you and Spencer on that last pit stop. That's how close it was. Anyway, right. Anybody you'd like to thank or give a shout out for tonight's win?
Just thanks Spencer. He helped me with the setup a little bit. We always share sets back and forth, me, Spencer, Travis and Cozy, and Dustin whenever he decides to show up. But we usually get in there and he'll give me something if I don't have something, and then we'll make adjustments to it back and forth just to see if we can make it better for each other. So thanks to Spencer for that, and the rest of my teammates, and always to Tex. I know he had some troubles tonight and couldn't get in. That really sucks for Tex too, but I guess you got in to commentate, and thanks to Sam, I guess you would have been alone if it wasn't for Tex tonight.
Yeah, big hit in the points tonight for me, but I'm always glad to help Sam out as much as I can.
Absolutely, and I appreciate the help, and I was going to be here regardless whether I was going to be on my own or with somebody else, so definitely enjoy broadcasting this league, and definitely going to be looking forward to the future races, especially Talladega next week. Mark Arthur, congratulations on the win tonight, and we will see you next week in at the Super Speedway.
Thanks, Sam. I feel confident with Super Speedways, but anything can happen in those. So you probably look at me be hanging out around the back somewhere for a long time.
Yeah, we all know at Talladega the only time to go is when it's near the end of the race, when all the dramas happen. So the best time to go is near the end, and I'm sure you'll be there at the end, as you have been for the past few weeks. So again, Mark, congratulations on the win, and we'll let you go and celebrate your victory.
Thanks, Sam.
Now, that's the interviews out of the way. Tex, what are your thoughts on tonight's race?
Definitely interesting, especially with Mark saying as much as this track doesn't like him, especially after Spencer Preet dominating the race and losing it on pit road. Absolutely, and
it's just a penalty like that. It's something like that that can make you lose a race, and it's amazing how the little things like that can really affect a race, especially at that point of the race when it is the money stop and it's really go time.
As long as that last stint was, and as long as they went, I was really hoping for green flag pit stops. That late caution really won that race for Mark Arthur. Is great stop on the money. Dang shame for Spencer Preet getting caught with a speeding ticket, but he really put on a clinic coming back through the field.
Absolutely, as we are going to go to our results now for tonight's race. Coming home with a win after a mistake from Spencer Preet, Mark Arthur really holding on at the end, 0.7 of a second, making it 2 from 2 here at Richmond. Unexpected short track specialist. As I've just mentioned, Spencer Preet coming home second. Doug Thompson very happy tonight, coming home in third place. Russ Charneski on his return to the league, he comes home in fourth place. Travis Brown, how disappointed he must be to just come home with fifth place after the battles he's had through the night. Elliott Smith comes home in sixth. Seventh is Carl Gilbert. Eighth, and the last car on the lead lap was James Bunce. Larry Anderson comes home ninth, 2 laps down. Nelson Hill, a fantastic P10 for him. He was 4 laps down. In 11th place is Hunter King. 12th, Ryan Hughes. What could have been for him had he not had those 2 huge wrecks on the tri-oval. 13th was Carlton Hendry, finally giving up the ghost after hitting the wall a lot of times during the race. John Bergeron finishes 14th. Tyler Vickery, more problems for him, more bad luck for him. He comes home 15th, 148 laps down. Cody Walling 16th. 17th Jeffrey Patterson. 18th Marcus McFadden, and not taking the start tonight was Bob Cunningham. He did not take the green. Anyway, that's going to do it for us tonight here at Richmond International Raceway. Let me just find my music, because I lost it because of the national anthem. There we go, there's my music. That's going to do it for us tonight. What a race it's been, and definitely looking forward to next week's race. Tex, what are your thoughts going on to next week's race at Talladega?
Talladega, I have 2 words: wild card. Anybody can win. It's all setting yourself up for the last 10, 5, 2 laps, give or take, something like that.
Yeah. it's definitely going to be a crapshoot as we go to the fastest track on the calendar. Always creates drama, Talladega, and I'll definitely be looking forward to bringing that one to you next Friday. Let's go through our schedule for the coming days. Tomorrow we've got another Bofa Fan Choice treat for you. We've got Top Fuel Racing at the Homestead in the IR18's a special event for them, and we've got the ARDC Midgets at Charlotte. Then we're off till Wednesday. We're back with Top Fuel Racing. Thursday Somo, Friday Go Fast Racing, and then Saturday we're back here again with the Major League eSports League at Talladega. That's going to do it for us now. We're going to go away and watch this race back as we have done the last couple of weeks. My name is Sam Cooper Bennett. Joining me in the booth this week was Tex. Keep it clean, keep it green. We will see you next week.